Welcome back to another episode on the Earth Dwellers channel here. We have all of our propagations outside. Last video I was in the greenhouse, but I didn't show everything we got going on. So we have all of our starts, all of our propagations, everything we're selling at our market here. A whole bunch more stuff. These are some of our cold-hearted kiwis. We got some of our figs here. Bunch of blueberries, high bush, low bush, got some mugwort. We have on the outside here a whole bunch of tomatoes, different varieties, basil, all the usual stuff, and a bunch of cut flowers down in the end. We're taking vases of flowers to our market. People are buying vases of flowers and they're paying about $10 a piece for them. So that makes us think that we could make a decent profit with all of the flowers we have, herbs and not. All over our property we've got flowers everywhere, and that is going to benefit us now that we have a place to sell all of our goods other than just online and at our marketplace on Facebook here. It's really hard to sell things online. We've had a difficult time of it, so we are just trying in-person selling, and it is working for us. We are doing very well. So with that little bit of profit we're making, we are kind of turning it back. I didn't spend a whole lot on this system here, but we have our new bucket, which holds about 35 gallons of water, I believe. And I had this old container. It's just an old mixing container for soil. I built myself a nice cheap bell siphon. If anybody has any questions about bell siphons, they're very, very cool. It is draining out right through this hose here. So I have completely repurposed this whole system yet again. So I needed to replace our overflow tank anyway for our winter setup. So I ended up replacing our 22 gallon bucket with a 35 gallon bucket. So I got this cap on top of here. So we have about an inch or a ½ inch gap between the top of our inner pipe and the top of our cap here. And that creates a suction. So once all of that water fills up, it creates a vacuum and it sucks it all down. And it bilges it all down right into our overflow tank, where our water pump can pump it back through all of our compost, through the floor of our greenhouse, and then back into our little grow medium tank here. Very, very cool system, very, very cool stuff. And all of this is just scrap material, like I said, as cheaply as possible. I did buy new stuff, but this is going to last me forever, and we are going to use it for the winter time also to heat our greenhouse. So basically we only bought the PVC and the little connector we needed to adapt. I drilled a little hole there so we could run our piping down. Very, very cheap, very, very easy to do. Anybody could do this. So if anyone has any questions on bell siphons or how they work or how to build one, I will be more than happy to get back to you as quick as I can, because this is very, very easy to do, and it's an awesome way to grow and propagate. We're going to be using this medium and hydroponic box to grow for our market here. So we're going to be able to propagate all of our blueberries, Hickory honeyberries, and everything of the such, all of our trees, whatnot. So this is going to be very cool. We may put guppies in here because the mosquitoes are very, very clever. They eat all your mosquito larvae. So I'll basically have a little pond, and our guppies will create waste, which will feed our plants up here. So it will be a nice system. So this will basically filter the water as it's dumped back down. So we've got our bilge here, and this will run till it is completely drained. We've got a ½ inch tube, so it will take a little while. So we've got all of our plants in here, hypothetically, with all of our grow medium, and the water level rises to this depth right here and starts to bilge down, and will recirculate down to our little fish aquarium pond that we're gonna make in here, because it's nice and shady, so it shouldn't get too much algae growth. I didn't like the way our system was running, our bubbler, trying to get those roots to grow on fresh cuttings and expensive cuttings at that. Very, very valuable cuttings to us and to our customers. So we wanted to get a nice little system that is going to run. You can see it overflowing here. It's not 100% level, and it's already full because we filled it up with our hose in order to get this flow out of it. So this will drain. You can see it's already below the spot where our little inner tube is. So it is creating suction that is drawing it up and around through the larger tube into the smaller tube and draining out down here. Back for part 2. I was too excited. I had to show everybody once we got our pebbles in, Started to get some plants stuck up in here. We probably got about 20 plants so far. We got a bunch of chocolate mint. That is a super propagator. Everybody loves buying the chocolate mint because it's so aromatic. We've got some tomatoes. They're a little wilty, but they are doing well. I'm not too worried about them. We've got some sweet potato slips coming up in the back here, looking real healthy. I'm gonna put those out in the dirt real soon. As soon as they throw some good roots off of them, they're going out to the dirt. We've got some rosemary in here, some lemon basil, a little bit of oregano, some red vein sorrel, some more regular basil, some other sorrel seeds coming up in there. So this is a super cool propagation station. I placed it along the back wall where it already basically was. And we get enough shade over here in the afternoon sun that's super hot and blazing that we got enough protection that these delicate plants that are trying to root up will not have any issues. They won't be burnt up. So when we are reaching the hottest point in the day, all of our cuttings are sitting in the shade, and we planned that for that reason, because they absolutely do not need to be dried out and baked by the sun all day. Getting some sunlight is good, but not direct, and filtered sunlight is very good for them also. You can do this under a canopy or under a shade cloth like we are. So I just wanted to bring everybody an update on this system and how many times I've used it over and repurposed it, and it still works well. It's a good little system to have, a little solar powered pump that is backed up by a 9-volt battery, constantly running. We are able to achieve good water flow. We just got this to dump and it's starting to fill our top back up here. You can see the water down there. So if anyone has any questions on how to build this, this was a totally cheap and easy setup. Anybody can do this. Don't forget to ask questions. I will get right back to you as soon as I can. Hit that subscribe button while you're there.